Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go to work here. Because we want you to not just align with us in THW Global, not just, make up to $25 an hour. You've probably heard that. If you haven't, you'll understand that in a few moments by viewing promotional content. We really want you to build a full-scale business. We believe that this model can lend itself to you ultimately scaling to a 6, some a 7, some even an 8-figure business. Now, if it's difficult for you to see yourself there now, that's okay. You definitely want to stick around for the training because we're going to talk about some mindset in our training. So if you have a difficult time, if all you're looking for is a few extra hundreds of dollars a month, you'll see how you can get there. And then you might be like my very dear friends, Zeke and Jerry Stewart down there in Panama, where when they first got into the home business industry, they didn't have any visions of making 10 grand and 20 grand and 30 grand a month. They wanted to make 300 and some change a month because they had a bill. I think it was like a car payment way back then. And 5 years later, they're making 50 grand a month. All right. So maybe you don't believe for 50 grand a month now just yet. Hang tight. Stay with us. We're going to show you that you could definitely do that with this model. Let's take a look at a couple of the executives of Google, because Google owns YouTube. Here is Larry Page. Larry Page, his real-time net worth as of today, $39.1 billion with a B dollars. And that's up from $33.3 billion at the end of 2015. Now, it's not just YouTube. Obviously, Google owns YouTube. So it's not just YouTube that has contributed to Larry's $39.1 billion wealth. But let me tell you who's contributed to that, all right? Teresa, if you've ever watched a YouTube video, you contributed to Larry's $39.1 billion. Tom Owen, down there in Gastonia, buddy, guess what? Every time you go to Google or you tell someone, hey, just go Google it. Someone asks you a question and you say, hey, just go Google it. I don't know the answer. Just go Google it. Guess what? You're contributing to Larry's $39.1 billion nest egg. It's not just Larry. It's his buddy, who is also a co-founder. What happened here? Oh, there we go. It's his buddy, Mr. Brin. I don't know how to say that first name. Don't want to mess it up. He's worth $38.2 billion. So every time we go and watch a YouTube video, every time we do some searching in Google, we're helping these gentlemen become fabulously wealthy. And we're not foo-fooing on that. But I want you to understand, just with this one property, Google, obviously owning YouTube, that these two dudes collectively are worth close to $80 billion. And Charette, how did they get there? Because of you, and because of me, and because of Sam Stewart, and because of Sandra Lawrence, and because of Tyron, and because of Wendy. Why? Because we're going and we're watching the content on YouTube. We're going and we are Googling. We're setting up Gmail accounts. We're even in the marketing space. We're telling folks, hey, you know what, Yahoo, you might have some spam issues there. Why don't you set up a Gmail account? You know what we're doing? We are helping. We're helping to increase their user base. Facebook, we help to increase their user base. Doggone it, Queen. Why do we call you Queen Twitter? Because you got 1 million+ people following you on Twitter. My question to you is, how much money have the Twitter dudes and Twitter dudettes paid you for helping to generate a following, just your own following of 1 million folks? All right, so now I want you to pay attention to this platform. So here is YouTube. All right, here's the YouTube platform. Now, there is a champion arising amongst us saying, wait a minute, there's plenty of wealth in this whole advertising arena. By the way, YouTube is disguised as a video sharing social media site. But the reality is it's an advertising platform. Facebook is disguised as a social media platform. Hey, connect with your cousins, connect with your friends, connect with people that you've never met, but you've got similar interests, and build connections and relationships. It's disguised as a social media network, but it is an advertising platform. Make no bones about it. They did $5.2 billion in advertising revenue the first quarter of this year. And that was up some 57% from the same time last year. Twitter is an advertising platform, Queen. You thought it was so that you could build this huge following to maybe share your business and your business ideas and your, things going on in your personal life, and you could tweet and all that other stuff. Twitter's not just about the Donald tweeting. It is an advertising platform, $641 million in the last quarter of 2015. Now, here's YouTube, right? Now, I want you to look at this. I want you to look at this. Look at the look and the feel. Look at the look and the feel. Look at the look and the feel. And here is THW Global. Look at the look and the feel. Look at the look and the feel. Look at the look and the feel. Looks pretty similar, doesn't it? It is a video platform, or is it an advertising platform disguised as a video platform? It is an advertising platform, ladies and gentlemen, disguised as a video platform. You see, what YouTube did, what Facebook did, what Twitter did is they built distribution. They built a huge user base. People could join Facebook, YouTube for free. You can join, you will join THW Global for what? For free. Then we're going to watch content. We're already watching content at YouTube. They just don't pay us. We're already seeing ads in Facebook when we go into our news feed, or we see it on the right-hand side. They're just not paying us. What THW Global is going to do is they're going to pay us to view content on purpose. And in viewing content on purpose, we're going to see content from advertisers. And we might buy something right away, we might not. But that advertiser gets to plant that seed. So when we want that product or that service now or in the future, we're more likely to do business with that advertiser, particularly given that that advertiser is advertising with THW Global, and THW Global is going to pay you and me. So how are they going to pay us? Give me a moment. How are they going to pay us? 3 numbers that you want to commit to memory. Very simple. $25, $5, and $1. Okay, what's the $25? All right, so when we go live, right now we're in beta. Yesterday was the first day of beta. Yesterday, in the first day of beta, over 2.8 million views to videos, and nobody's getting paid yet. That was all what we call IVs, international viewers, simply going in out of excitement, viewing content. We knew we weren't going to get paid because it's in beta. They are amassing demographic information. They are seeing just how many of us are really interested in viewing this content so that they can go and present offers to advertisers that will then pay for us to view the content. So here's the deal. You'll earn up to $25 an hour for a maximum of 10 hours per week for viewing content on the THW Global site. It could be a video about sports. It could be a video about politics. It could be a video about animals. I love my videos about animals. I see that a whole bunch of animal videos, like cats and dogs, have been watched. I like the one that talked about the 3 edible insects. Queen, I love that one. I learned a lot, Queen. If I'm ever out somewhere and I get hungry, I can eat an ant or a beetle, and that packs it up with protein. Shouldn't have said that. Some of you might be eating. I'm sorry. Up to $25 an hour. Now, what does the up to $25 an hour mean? Okay, here's the deal. It's pure economics. In the U.S., the average disposable income after tax disposable income is $2,800 in U.S. dollar terms. In the Philippines, the average after tax income in U.S. dollar terms per person is $300 and some change. So obviously an advertiser advertising to a Filipino audience is likely going to spend less in advertising than an advertiser advertising to a US based audience. That's what the up to 25. So depending on what part or what region of the world is going to determine what that figure is going to be. And that's going to be fluid. All right. So that's why we say up to $25 an hour. So that's the first number I want you to keep in mind. So you can view up to 10 hours a week once we go live, up to $25 an hour. Let's call it $250 a week. It could be less, obviously, with that disclaimer we've given you. Let's call it just over $1,000 a month, because you'll have some weeks, some months that you have 5 weeks. Now, I want you to get this. That's for every person in your household who's 18 years or above. So if you are married, then it should be you and your spouse registered. If you've got a significant other, you and the significant other that's registered. If you have children, like in my family, it's my wife, yours truly, 2 of my sons. And guess what we were doing today? We had our family meeting. All right, guys. All right, Guyette, my wife. All right, Snook, the love of my life. All right, we're in beta. We're not getting paid to view just yet, but we're going to do our part so that the company knows that there's some folks that want to view. And so guess what we were all doing today in different parts of our day? My wife's on her phone. My sons are on their phone. I'm on my computer, and we are viewing. That could mean up to $4,000 a month of income for our families in time just from our viewing. No marketing there, no recruiting there, no sponsoring there, no selling there, just for viewing. If you say, well, where's that money coming from? I just showed you 2 dudes. I just showed you 2 dudes. I just showed you 2 dudes worth almost $80 billion because they're keeping all the money. THW Global is saying, hey, we'll pay you to view this content on purpose. What's the $5? What's the $5? Well, for every person that you personally enroll, when they view, they can earn up to $25. You can earn up to $5. And of course, that'll be prorated. If they earn $15 because of the part of the world they live in, then you'll earn whatever that fraction happens to be. Let's assume they earn $25. They view an hour's worth of content. You just made $5. Let that sink in. See, they can view 10 hours of content a week. If they view 10 hours of content, they make, let's say, $250. You just made $50 because you referred someone to a free system. It didn't cost them anything to join. And now they're just viewing. And they may want to build the business part, or they just may want to view. Doesn't matter. You would make that money. And if they do that 4 weeks out of the month, they made their $1,000 or so, and you just made $200. So every person you personally enroll could be worth up to $200 a month for you. Why wouldn't you want to refer others? You mean, maybe you haven't been good at it at this point. That's what we're here for. That's why we've got systems that we'll talk more about on this coming Thursday to help you do all of the hard lifting so that it does all the work. It does all the presenting. And, you know, somebody with half a brain comes through your system, they're going to want to join you. Okay. All right. Now, let me give you an example. One of our Club 100 members. Club 100 is where someone has said, hey, I want to build my personal sponsorship to at least 100 or more. Okay. One of our Club 100 members sent this to me. So they have personally enrolled 231 that's on their first level. All right. So now let's do the math here. All right. 231. So here's the potential. There's 231 referrals they've enrolled. They could make up to $5 an hour for everyone that just views 1 hour. So if everyone in a perfect world viewed 1 hour for that day, they would make $1,155 for the fact that everybody viewed just 1 hour. All right. It's $1,155 an hour. Okay. Try that one on your job. All right. Now, the fact is that those 231 referrals could actually view 10 hours a week. So in a perfect world of 231 referrals, view 10 hours a week, and you made the $5 per, that's $11,550 for the week. Now, we know that that's a perfect world scenario, and we don't live in a perfect world. We're not in utopia. We're not in paradise. We get that. And what I have found is that typically, you probably have seen this too, is that, you know, 80% of what gets done normally gets done by like 20% of the folks. And 20% of the folks are normally responsible for 80% of whatever gets done. So if you just took 20% of that, let's say 20% of that happened. Somebody viewed 10 hours, somebody viewed none. Somebody viewed 8 hours, somebody viewed 2. If 20% of that happened, ladies and gentlemen, just as it stands right now, and this person is continually growing their referral network, because they've built a referral network, that could be a couple $1,000s a week if just 20% of what could happen happens. That's why you want to build a referral network. Even if you haven't done it before, follow what we're teaching, follow our systems. There's no reason why in time you shouldn't be Club 100 also. So we've got the 25, we've got the 5. What about 1? Little itty bitty measly $1. Who cares about a buck? Well, in our system, you're going to care a lot about a buck. And the reason being is because in the compensation, there are 10 levels. Now, what does this mean? You're the green dude or green dudette. Anyone that you refer is on your first level. Anyone that they refer is on your second. Anyone that they refer is on your third and your fourth and your fifth and your sixth, all the way down to 10 levels. Now, excluding that first level, anybody from levels 2 through 10, when they view, that could be $1. For every hour they view, that could be $1 for you. Oh, did you hear that? Susan, did you hear the hip hopness there? For every hour they view, that could be $1 for you. Oh my gosh, that boy is talented. Hey, Queen, you liked it, didn't you? You liked it. Give me a beat, Queen. Come on, give me a beat. Come on, Queen. Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, I'm having fun. We're starting to view in beta. I'm having some fun. All right. So you can have in time hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands. We already have folks in THW Global that have over 6 figures, over 100,000 in their 10-level organization. All right. So here's the example here. All right. Club 100 member. They've personally enrolled 231, and from that, 1750 is on the second level, and from that, 3359 is on the third level, and this is growing, and this is growing. And so they've got 16,000 folks in their 10-level organization. All right, now I'm going to subtract out the 231 because we already know what can happen there if they view. So from levels 2 through 10, you've got people, they're viewing content. And what happens is the more people that view, then the more advertisers THW Global can attract. And the more advertisers THW Global attracts, the more money is paid to THW Global, the more money is paid to the field, the more money is paid to the field, the more excitement there is in the field, the more people get registered so they can view, which attracts more advertising money, and it just becomes a cycling effect. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at the potential here. I'm going to subtract out the 231 that were personally enrolled. That leaves 15,922 folks in levels 2 through 10. And this is an ever-growing number. All right, that screenshot is a few days old from what they sent me. 15,922. If everybody just viewed an hour, that's $15,922 for the day if it was an hour a day. If everybody viewed 10 hours a week, times the buck. I can't even show the numbers. The FTC would frown on me, so you do the numbers there. Now, we know it's not a perfect world. What if we just get 20% of this imperfect world? And even that number's too big for me to show. You do the numbers. Now, back in 2005, if YouTube had said, that gentleman's name is Jawed that did that video. If he had said, hey, we got this new video platform and we're going to pay people to view content. And then if people saw that 18-second video, I guarantee you folks would have said, that's a scam. It ain't going to work. No, you ain't never going to amount to anything. And then 18 months later, Google buys them out for $1.6 billion. And a few years later, now they're worth $100 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the compensation. 25, 5, and 1.